Rich artists and musicians educate themselves. Poor and broke artists entertain themselves. And today I'm going to be covering the 5 signs and habits of rich artists and the poor habits you want to avoid. My name's Chris, also known as Manifest. I have 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and I love helping artists just crush it, make more money with their music so they can make more impact. And the first habit of rich artists is they invest in assets. Okay, they invest in things that make the money. And the first experience I ever had in this was songwriting. I wrote a song back in 2001 for an EP that we did. We put out a 5-song EP, and now it's 2021, and 20 years later, those songs are still making me money. Okay, because I haven't quit. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and that song, that 5-song EP that isn't that great, but it's still making me money because I invested in songwriting. I invested in an asset. An asset puts money into my pocket. You know, if I had bought a guitar or bought a microphone or bought, more clothes or whatnot, those aren't making me money anymore. Okay, the microphone, sure, it could be if I'm using it to record, but the clothes or, the car or whatever, that's not making me money. But those songs continue to make me money 20 years later. Rich artists invest in assets, things that make the money. Another example of that would be real estate. Okay, rental properties and stuff like that. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. I want to keep it more song focused. The second thing is, which I've seen with rich artists, and I've done this with touring. We've toured over 22 different countries. I've played over 1,000 shows, and the rich artists take the downtime to learn. Okay, when I would tour, when I would travel, I turned that into my mobile university. I'll never forget when I was in Japan and I was on the bullet train and I was listening to podcasts. When I'm in the car, I'm always reading books. Formal education will make you a living, okay? Self-education will make you a fortune. I'm going to say that again. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. That's a quote by Jim Rohn. You got to take your time to learn, your downtime to learn. Never allow wasted time or waiting time to be wasted time. All right? If you're waiting in the studio, what are you looking on Instagram for? Maybe you should be posting or promoting. Okay, that's not wasted time, or reading or learning, but you got to educate yourself, okay? Never allow waiting time to be wasted time, okay? A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there, all right? Next thing is the rich have a vision of the future, okay? Rich artists have a vision, okay? They see where they're going to be in 5 years. I'll never forget an old mentor of mine asked me, Chris, where do you see yourself as an artist in 5 years? And I was like, dang, dude, I can barely look ahead 5 weeks or 5 months for a tour, let alone 5 years. Man, I don't know. But now I got to think about that. Where do I see myself in 5 years? How many YouTube subscribers? How many songs have I written? What's the big goal? Where do I see myself in 10 years? What's the life goal? What am I trading my life for? What kind of shows do I want to be playing? Who do I want to be writing with at this time? If I want to be working with certain individuals, what am I doing today that's going to lead me there? Because if I want to reap something and I want to reap a reward in 5 years, that means I need to be planting those seeds now, those seeds of relationships. I need to be putting in the work today so I can reap something in 5 years. But a lot of artists, they spend money like it's always going to be there. They treat their bodies like it's always going to be this young, amazing body, and they don't take care of it. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're thinking about your future, where you're going to be. And don't make decisions where you're going to be signing a contract with the label who's going to be screwing you later on. Because that's what I love is okay, maybe I do a partnership with this label or something like that, make this decision and do this partnership, but after the 5 years, I know it'll be over, and then I'll get my rights back or whatever it is. Okay? Number 4. Rich artists learn how to save their money. This is a big one, man. This is a big one with artists and musicians, especially those that have that quick success. Okay, they go from broke to super rich and they never save money. They never have reserves. They spend it all on fancy cars, clothes, houses. Okay, and a house is, sure, it's an investment, but it's not an asset. If you live in that super expensive house, but yet you're touring all over the place, you're not even living in it, but it's costing you in the mortgage, property tax, maintenance, insurance, water, electric every month, and yet you're not even there. Now, if you bought something and then you rented it out, That's different because then when you're on the road, you'd be making money. And that's one of the stories I share in my book, From Red to Black, is one of my musicians. He lived in an apartment and he had 2 bedrooms. And when he'd go on tour, he would rent out both rooms as Airbnb. When he was there, he'd always rent out one as an Airbnb. When he was gone, he'd rent out both. So I'm paying him to play every night, and he's also making money every night on his Airbnb. That's called rich artists, okay? That's a different mentality, okay? The last one, and this is so easy to do, it's easy not to do. But listen to this rule by Warren Buffett. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. And this is it. The rich spend less than they make. Rich artists spend less than they make, okay? Have you ever done a budget? Have you ever done a cash flow budget? Ever looked at all your statements? Looked at how much money comes in every month? You know what money is really consistent and comes in every month? And then look at your expenses. How much are you spending every month? Are you overspending what you're making? But you're just like, oh, well, I'm going to be getting that royalty check in 3 months. Or we're going to be doing this big gig. So I'll just spend now and I'll eventually pay that bill off later. Don't live like that. Don't live like that. Learn to go without. Learn to go without. Learn to save. Learn to have reserves, okay? To invest in things and have that cash reserves so you're not put in a tough spot. Stop assuming all this money is going to be in. Be prudent. Be conservative. Be a rich artist. If you don't have my book, From Red to Black, A Short Journey from Debt to Financial Freedom, you need to get this. It's free. You just got to cover the shipping and handling, or get the ebook or the audiobook on Amazon, but it'll change your life. It shows you everything from like an artist, a music artist perspective on how to build real wealth, be financially free, and do your art, do your music. My amazing wife did the cover. This will change your life. I believe in you.